Boom, we are back. That's right. Bullish Bitcoin banter and bullshit brought to you by the usual suspects. Mr. All-In, aka the Trillion Dollar Man, Dr. Evil 10%, aka the People's Champ, myself, Sir Neverlook, aka the Excellence of Execution, and Nemesis No Show. Still, no show. Pod 180. Welcome.
Oh, we should have Luke Littler on, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Pod 180, the little darts wonder kid. He looks about, well, older than us
Well,
three.
yeah.
He's like 80. But yeah, what I heard this week, I heard the brother-in-law who's been recently orange pilled, which by the way, he
hmm
tells me the other day that he's also orange pilled three other people now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's not, the full way. I think that there's a whole thing about orange pilling people, isn't there? There's about buying a bit of Bitcoin. I think one guy sold some ETH and bought Bitcoin with it, and then
Okay.
yeah, two people I think just bought their first part. So it's one of them where you're like, that's great, but are those people fully orange pilled where they would now be able to orange pill someone else? It's like,
Mm,
no, I don't. It doesn't feel like it, and that's how I feel with a lot of people that I talk to about Bitcoin. Sometimes they buy Bitcoin, but I can tell there's big holes in their knowledge and big gaps and questions, but they either don't know how to answer them or can't be bothered to answer them. So they almost just go, I'm going to put that to one side, trust me, and put a
yeah.
bit of money in. You know, you're not fully orange pilled. You're just there's a bit of blind belief and just following in someone's previous success, which is never that great. But no, what I wanted to say is actually he was the brother-in-law was listening to the pod apparently last week on the way home from work, and he missed his junction and added on like 20 minutes to his journey home. So that is how captivating this pod is. It makes people,
Did did he text Tom and call him a prick?
yeah. I don't think he has his number, but like I could do it on his behalf if you want.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you should get your brother-in-law to do it if he's listening. Message younger NBA, and call him a prick.
This has got no relation to what I just said. You just want to call for
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no,
Exactly.
I'm here for war.
Just causing beef amongst the family. All
Oh,
right.
he hasn't. He has. I think he's probably got a better attendance record than Miss No Show, but he hasn't
Yeah.
been on for a while, has he?
No,
He's
he
probably
hasn't.
got a better listening attendance too, as well.
Do you know what he's doing now at the moment? He's training for his Everest base camp little mission that he's going in next month.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that'll be good effort from him. I saw that on LinkedIn. It still depressed me about him on LinkedIn, but
Mm.
I did sponsor him because I was like, fair play to him for doing that.
Oh, you can sponsor some sats. Nice.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm going right. Yeah. Young MBA. I'll send you some sats as well.
You're still a
Loving that.
prick.
I do love though the fact that your brother-in-law is fully involved
Yeah.
and just yeah,
What what
just
about
got
your
it.
sister? Is your sister?
No, she just doesn't care.
Okay. Well, I suppose it's good though. It's good that he's got involved. So that's a good one to get.
I do think
Um,
it's men. I think this is what I'm starting to realize as well. I think men worry about the house's finances, I think, more than women. And it's obviously
hmm
going to be like probably enrage maybe the two women that listen to the show, if there are any. But I think it's just normal that men worry about the future financial security of the household, whereas the women look about the welfare and how people are feeling and making sure everyone's fed and clothed and stuff. But the men are just like, look, there needs to be enough money in the bank account to enable all that good stuff.
Well,
And I think
aside
that's
from
why men just tend to get it more because they are worried about what happens in 10 years, 20 years.
So
aside
true.
from aside from Mrs. All In, how many female Bitcoiners do you know in real life?
Oh, in real life, like
So not counting Twitter.
no, there's loads on there. They all love me as well. They're like sucky sucky $5 and yeah, Bob's and Fijin everywhere. But in real
Just like
life,
those emails
pretty
that I
rough.
get about people in my area that want to suck me off.
Yeah, no, I've literally probably met a handful, and obviously I go to Bitcoin events as well, so that's the only reason
Yeah.
why.
Because I only know one.
What?
That's
What?
through work.
Oh,
That's the only one who I know.
oh yeah.
Uh, I met one through work as well, actually, and she was a customer, and I explained it to her, and then from that very moment, she was just like, "Look, I've always wanted to get involved, but never actually understood it or had somebody help me understand it." And so there and then, she opened up a Coinbase account, dropped some sats, and she still got it, and then she's added to it as well. So. Yeah,
But no, I've
she's
actually just swore it
rarity.
was two who I've come across within work. One who was one who was tech, so I think that's how she got it, and then the other one was in marketing. Well, he's in marketing. So
Yes, yes, I know who
yeah,
you mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So these are the only two, but I suppose like who you associate with outside of work, it is mainly males.
her
So
partner is very into it as well, actually.
yeah,
Yeah, well, just to
yeah,
think,
Um,
you remember like we obviously had Ralph on who wrote the Bitcoin book.
yeah,
I knew his daughter for years, worked
yeah,
closely with her for about five of those. Bitcoin came up numerous times, right? It wasn't until almost my last week it worked before I quit and then kind of revealed that, oh, partly it's because of Bitcoin. That she went, oh, my dad's a big Bitcoin. He's written a Bitcoin book. I'm like, how is this the first time?
Is she a Bitcoiner?
No, not at
nope,
all.
nope. I remember
That's quite
speaking to
strange.
Ralph about it. It is so strange.
And obviously, I missed the Bitcoin at the work that I used to do. I was known as the Bitcoin guy, right? So if your dad's written a Bitcoin book and you literally talk to me every day, you'd have thought that would have come up. And it didn't until right at the end when she went, oh, just so you know, like my dad did this, and you might. I'm like, oh my God, that is amazing. I want to talk to him. And like obviously we got him on the pod, but
Yeah,
um
I don't think there's any big Bitcoiners. I mean, I occasionally get drunk people coming to trying to talk to me about how wrong I am about Bitcoin and work, but that's about it. And then when they're sober, they leave me alone.
Did we talk about the Pi app and where it was about taxes and where it kind of showed you how you could look at your taxes in real time about how much you might have to pay. And did I share the podcast with you guys?
don't know why
Oh,
it
I
was.
don't know.
No. Okay,
So
so
so it's basically like this is your income and this is your tax. And they're not going to use lube on you. They're just going to take it all and it's going to go down this magical black hole over here.
yeah.
Why?
I'm sure I kind of feel like we did because I remember he was dunking on Gary Economics.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, I like that
Why are
though.
you bringing this up anyway?
So why I'm bringing it up is so the same guy who has the name of your brother, Young MBA, who I've shared with the group before, and he always looks at me in disgust and admiration at the same time because I told him to buy Bitcoin when it was 13,000 and he didn't. I said, look, you ignored me when I tried to make you some money. So don't ignore me when I'm trying to save you some money and read or watch this. So I'd be interested, and it goes back to the whole men worrying about the finances of the house. I feel like, and I know you, Dr. Evil 10%, you and I, we've had many a chat. It's like we are to the point of paranoia of like, we need to make sure that everything is in place. And still to this day, I don't get why other people aren't like this, when it comes
Yeah.
to the future or
Yeah,
fiat
I think they
and
are.
stuff like that.
I think they are.
Yeah.
A lot like money worries and stuff is probably the number one issue in every household, right? But it's the classic, I'm so up against it with money, I don't have time to investigate this magic internet money thing that you
Yeah.
you want me to do, I'm out grinding, I'm doing long jobs, come back with the kids, all I want to do is eat, sleep, and fucking start to do the rest again. And that's the problem, isn't it? You're in the rat race, you're on the
Yeah.
you're on the hamster wheel, and you haven't got time to get off and just freaking take a couple of hours and go, is there a smarter way of fixing this? And
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah,
that's what it is. I think it's so daunting and so large that people don't want to go down the avenue. And anyone listening who's, I suppose, having a panic, I think there's a couple of books which I'd recommend. And I know we always lead towards Bitcoin, but if you read something like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, it does help break down money and also just why do stocks always go up.
yeah,
Those are the
it's
two
very
books
good.
which I say anyone just read them and then read the Bitcoin Standard would be my third. But I feel like
Yeah.
you need a bit of basic grounding and finance in order to do it. But yeah, I think it is overwhelming. The whole system's confusing until you get into Bitcoin, when you kind of go, oh yeah, I understand this now. I understand why it is how it is, and you kind of everything just clicks into place. Still not easy. Otherwise, myself and Sir Neverlook would be billionaires, YOLOing out.
Yeah. I think as well as we all had, all of us here had a very sound foundation of financial literacy as well. So that helped propel us into obviously what we then came to understand when it came to Bitcoin. I don't think that that is always apparent with everybody. So they just, it's like learning a new language.
Well, I personally felt like I was in that when I was trying to learn about finance before. I just felt like it was gobbledygook, and somehow I didn't get it, and everyone was smart who did.
Yeah.
And then it was literally Bitcoin where you kind of go, this all makes sense now. It makes perfect sense on why it is how it is. And all this shit about, oh, buy bonds. Why do you want to buy bonds? What do they mean? Why are the returns shit if I'm meant to buy them? How do you balance a portfolio? Do you need to balance a portfolio? And you kind of, it all
Mm,
becomes very clear.
yeah. Well, I think ultimately it leads us to our first story, and that there's just two people in this world, aren't there? There's Bitcoiners and there's people that just don't get it. And I think this post from Buttcoin, which when I was on Reddit and didn't have every account banned, Buttcoin is a long-standing subreddit on Reddit that hates everything Bitcoin, and they've been categorically wrong for the last 15 years that they've been around. But here's a post where you basically go, a friend is into Bitcoin, but seems more like they're in a cult. How to approach a conversation. And it's a hi. My friend got into Bitcoin. I think they're now 6 months into it, maybe 4 months actually putting money in. I asked if they could tell me what Bitcoin actually is since I didn't really get it. How they explain it, it does make sense, but I'm mostly a little wary about how much they're into it. When I text them to play a game, they'd usually respond yes, but now they're saying they're doing some Bitcoin research or whatever. It's become their life and it's accompanied by other ideas they have about the world, like money in the bank is stupid or government money has no value anymore. Like this is freedom, but they don't really intend to trade the Bitcoin into money. So it feels like just pumping money into a system. I'd like to know how more about Bitcoin from your perspective and how to go about having conversations with these people. Is it dangerous, like losing all your money and losing your mind to cult ideology type of dangerous? And I mean that
And this was posted the other day.
this is the person we're competing with, right? You know,
Yep.
they even admit that the explanation of Bitcoin sounded legit and sounded right, but they're just wary of the fact that when anyone's that passionate about a thing, there's got to be something wrong. Something's up. It almost sounds like they've been drugged by these people, that they just love this thing too much. And that's the problem with Bitcoin, isn't it? It isn't just an investment. We're not talking to people in the office or talking to your mates about, you know what, I've got a little share tip for you, mate. You know this new AI thing? There's this little company, they're going to smash it, and you'd share that with just pretty much monotone information to go, this isn't going to be life changing or anything. It's just going to make us some money, right? But in Bitcoin land, it's like that where we go, oh, we're all going to be immeasurably rich, but that isn't even the important part. Money's going to collapse. We're going to survive. Everything's a fucking scam. They are lying about this, and this. People are dying. People are starving. We need to stop it. Our kids are going to grow up in an inflationary environment where they can't ever buy a house. Da, 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 da. We got to get off the fiat standard onto a Bitcoin standard. And you go, it's that's where the passion comes from, right?
It
I'm not just
does.
telling you about a stock tip. It's so much more. And I think that's why people like this kind of go, it sounds like they're in a cult, and it's not a cult.
Yeah.
It's that this is a revolution, and it's important. We're emotionally
Yeah.
invested in this thing as well as
It,
financially invested in this thing.
it's also like once you see it, you can't unsee it. So like you can't stop talking about inflation. You can't stop talking about the monetary system, and everyone looks at you like there's nothing there. They're kind of like, oh yeah, you're just going over the top, and it's like, have you not fucking seen this? This has been done well, actually two official times before, been done with Rhinestones and everything else, and it's happening again. But you're still sitting there applauding like a seal, asking for your helicopter money.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
And I think that's when you first get into Bitcoin, you do just, I suppose, go a bit overboard, don't you? You want to talk about it all the time. You want to talk about the evils of inflation. You want to talk about the fiat Ponzi system, and everyone just looks at you like you're nuts and you're seeing ghosts.
Don't you
Well,
say
it's also a little
that
bit
when I
like,
first get in? I was doing the school.
Sorry?
I was doing the school run yesterday, and sometimes the missus looks at me because one of the parents would be like, "Oh, this is getting pricey now, isn't it?" And she's just like, don't." There's an opening, like an orange
uh,
pop. It's like she's not
uh,
ready. Leave her alone. She's got 4 kids. Like she's got about 20 quid a week. Like just leave her alone. She's not ready for you. So I don't think it ever goes away. After 10 years, I'm still fucking.
it's like I kick under the table when we're
it
around at
is.
someone's house and they start talking about the price of things, and I'm just like, I start switching, and
Because
she's
I
like,
do.
always blame
you
the
get
one
the
person.
look,
That's always
you get
what
the
gets
look.
me. They blame the company that is selling the thing, and I just got to interject and go, just so you know, it's not the company. They make the same amount of money this year as they did last year. It's the fucking government inflation.
Yeah,
That's what's
I was
who
gonna
that's
say
who,
they still have the same percentage margins as they did the previous year,
yeah.
and
But
all
this
Have
is
these
you still
companies.
got
complex.
people around you though that you know that you've explained it to them? They've kind of been semi-interested, but then they've not done anything about it. And then you've just given up on them. Because I have those people, and I was just like, I just look at them and I think, oh gosh, if only you'd have listened. And I don't want to be the I told you so guy, but I'm the I told you so guy. So not just our guy we've mentioned, but there's so many more that I look at and think, you are complaining about the same thing that I gave you the solution for years ago,
Yeah,
multiple times.
it's like one of my groups, and like I think they asked me for an explanation about stuff, and I went on about Bitcoin, and I think one of them got annoyed, and said, "I know you're into Bitcoin. I know you bought Bitcoin, and we're all poor." And I was just like, "You fucking asked about it. Just because you didn't buy it 5 years ago when I told you to, don't blame me."
Yeah,
And instead, you
yeah.
bought your fucking JPEG art.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Another,
Hopefully they're getting almost to the point just taking longer than you guys did. Because you guys are getting frustrated with me. Like you're still talking about investments that like right, I just need to say my first answer is Bitcoin, and then I'll try and answer your question. Out of the options you've provided, I would probably invest in this one, but I won't be investing in that one because I'm putting it into Bitcoin. And you're like, oh my God, just give an answer that doesn't say Bitcoin first thing. And eventually, like
Well,
obviously, you caved and went, okay, I get why he's saying it all the time now, but maybe that's
well,
what your mate is. Hopefully he's getting closer to going,
the problem was you
okay,
just
fine, I'll
explained
fucking
it.
buy some.
The problem was you explained it very badly.
I know. Fair enough. Yeah.
also as well, I think I remember speaking about it so often and so passionately because I was pretty annoyed at myself that I was asleep at the wheel. This thing was going on for all these years, and I I knew about what Bitcoin was, but I didn't know what Bitcoin was. So when I finally decided to understand what Bitcoin is, I was just like, oh my gosh, you know,
Well, it was when I got into it, and you kind of went, "God, if Dr. 10% is getting into Bitcoin."
yeah,
Yeah, if you're 10%, so Neverlook's got to be all in.
oh, gotta be, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, "Shit, if Mr. Safety Mitts is looking at it."
Mr. Safety Mitts.
That's really the point.
Exactly.
It can't be that risky. But yeah, I feel like this post is possibly being posted by the poster Bram Canstein, just to
Yeah,
wind everyone up because it's been written in a certain way to kind of poke fun at them. Like, I get it,
yeah,
it's stupid, they're in a cult, and it's just like I think it's just to lead them into like certain conversations and absolutely ruin them.
yeah. I think the bit that does sound sus is the bit where he goes, "Oh, I'm trying to play a game with him," and he's just doing Bitcoin research. You go, that just sounds a little bit too good to be true. That you've got some lad out there that's got into Bitcoin and he's literally not even gaming now. He's just doing Bitcoin research. Who knows? There's plenty of people that I know in the first couple of weeks of me finding Bitcoin when I was just in a world of Bitcoin. Just it was all just YouTube. That's all that was around really then. Just YouTube videos. They're all like 3 hours long, unedited, horrendous, but the content was there. It's just you're just watching them over and over and over, and each one would just answer another question that you kind of had, fill in another gap. You're like, more, more, more. I need more of this. Just keep going. And so who knows? It might be true. But anyway, let's move on.
Mm,
So never look. You shared a story about
yeah.
the top public companies with Bitcoin holdings.
Yeah, it was interesting because I just thought there's more and more that are out there, and obviously, it's not really publicized as much. But it's crazy to think that the top Bitcoin company, as we know, MicroStrategy, or formerly known as MicroStrategy, just Strategy, has got more Bitcoin than all the other 19 put together. But I just thought, yeah, let's add this in and have a little bit of a talk about it because, you know,
So
there's,
just to look at this, the top 12, they would be over a billion in Bitcoin, wouldn't they?
yeah,
What do you mean?
Uh,
Over.
in terms of financially,
yeah, so they're roughly about a billion. So you
Hey,
say it's 10,000 roughly and up. I don't know what the price is exactly.
what
So
do
you
you, what,
kind of
what are you
think
saying? A billion? What are they? They've
a
got at least
bit,
a billion of Bitcoin on the balance
no,
sheet.
$1 billion worth of Bitcoin on the
What
balance sheets.
in each?
Yes.
Right, yeah, because obviously MicroStrategy have can what is it like 6 or 7 billion or something like that? I
Yeah,
don't.
they're a ridiculous amount, but I think it's when it's 10,000 Bitcoin roughly, it's about a billion.
Yeah, yeah,
So
roughly
Hut 8 mining, but
in
I
dollars.
think
Okay,
I
yeah.
think some of these, like if you're a company who's mining or you're attached to any kind of like crypto, then you've got to have Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So I think some of these are a bit pointless, but then you kind of go into Trump and you've got Tesla in there where you kind of go, those are probably the two which I pick out as being particularly large because they aren't Bitcoin companies, are they? And obviously Elon said that, he didn't want to deal with Bitcoin yet, but he never sold it.
yeah,
Yeah, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla in there. Tesla's probably the only company in there that, yeah, other than like you said, Trump, that isn't just they largely are either a Bitcoin mining company or a company just set up just to hold Bitcoin.
Yeah, so you can't really not have it on the balance sheet if you're one of those companies. And
yeah.
Metaplanet is a Bitcoin treasury company. So Mr. All In, is it true that you'd be at number four if you were a company?
Fucking hell, I wish. I wish. Be fucking beautiful, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that's a good comment though. It's obviously the whole point of keeping Bitcoin on your balance sheet was just for a normal company that has cash on hand
correct.
is to convert the fiat into Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, and just as an investment of company funds to help the company grow. Just put the cash you have on the reserve should be in the hardest money that exists. I know we obviously used to work, or I used to work for a UK company at a global offices, but they used to hold the currencies that they would hold didn't necessarily relate to the countries that they did business in. They would literally move the money into different currencies depending on the strength of that currency at the time. you would be hedging against various currency rises and falls, and the finance department in the end was making millions just in the background, moving money around from one currency to another. So all this is saying is you should just stop playing silly games with moving it into dollars to yen to euros to pounds. Just put it in Bitcoin. And
Having a quick look, so I've asked
aren't doing that.
Sorry.
When you look at this list, these companies aren't doing that. Other than Tesla and Trump Media that genuinely have Bitcoin on the balance sheet, they have used some of their cash on the balance sheet and bought Bitcoin with it. But they are completely different companies doing other things. But even though that, like you said, they've roughly got, was it Tesla's roughly got 1.1 billion, Trump Media got 1.5 billion on the balance sheet. I'd imagine that's probably a relatively small amount of what definitely is a tiny amount of Tesla cash flows.
Here's some companies. Some more interesting is the companies which have Bitcoin on the balance sheet, whose primary focus isn't around the Bitcoin ecosystem. So you got Tesla, Semler Scientific, never heard of them. They swap cash reserves to Bitcoin starting in May 2024. And that's 4,449 Bitcoin. GameStop, who we heard about but we've forgotten about.
Yeah, GameStop, yeah.
Block, which I think is on the list, but I think Block have an association with Bitcoin, don't they?
Yeah, they are. That's Jack Dorsey's company.
Yeah, Next Technology Holding, I'm not familiar with. Aker ASA, who is a Norwegian firm who quietly added BTC, apparently about energy. So maybe they're using miners on the side from like flares or waste energy. Melus, who are e-commerce and cashback, and Rumble. So those are the companies which I think we probably need to pay more attention to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've just asked Grok and they've got pretty much the same list, yeah. It's weirdly it's got MicroStrategy top, which I suppose technically, yeah, they do.
It's
They have a
diagnostics
business,
for similar.
but yeah, then Tesla, Semler, GameStop, Block.
And Metaplanet are a crypto company.
But yeah, apparently
I think they're pretty much a MicroStrategy. So
yeah. And then Next Technology, Genius, Trump Media. Yeah. Because obviously, yeah, it's a bit like it's the equivalent of saying, oh yeah, I've orange pilled someone. You go, okay, fantastic. Have they converted? Are they all in 100%? Because that means, oh, we got them. They're a Bitcoiner through and through. At least I'd say probably 50% probably is the tipping point. I'd say anything over that, like you're through and through. Maybe it's even less. Maybe it's like 20 or 30, and you go, yeah, you're well on your way. But I think there's plenty of people that are 0.1% in Bitcoin. And I think what I get a feeling for is a lot of these companies, they're either 0.1% in and doing it for a bit of marketing, i.e., say a GameStop or a Trump Media, they're definitely doing it for that. Or they're people that just completely get it and they're not just buying Bitcoin, but the whole company is centered around buying Bitcoin, raising debt, buy more Bitcoin. And what I want is just more normal companies that convert 100% of their balance sheet into Bitcoin. And I don't think we really had a single one of them.
We need more GameStops.
Yeah, well, he didn't get it. He's a freaking crypto guy, and he yeah, didn't. Yeah, it's weird. It was Tesla. Like Tesla was just it's like that was our fucking blue chip. It was Elon. Tesla's one of the most well-known brands in the world. If they'd have converted, yeah, multiple billions, tens of billions into Bitcoin and just continued to stack, then it would have been could well have set the precedent. But yeah,
Well, we still got it.
Strategy now.
Well, I'm just looking to see if BlackRock own
No, they don't.
Bitcoin.
Well, officially, they don't own anything.
Of course they do.
Well, they're holding Bitcoin, but do they own Bitcoin?
No,
This is
they own their Bitcoin. It doesn't belong to you if you've got an ETF. It's BlackRock's.
Yeah,
it says BlackRock has
Right, when,
purchased.
like officially, BlackRock own nothing. Like they are almost a zero revenue company. They just hold 10% of all stocks all assets, all bonds,
Mm.
all Bitcoin, but on behalf of their customers. But obviously, they hold all the share certificates, the cold custody Bitcoin. But yeah, because if they let's just see if they were added to that list. Oh my God, they have 750,000 Bitcoin. So they're
So they
top.
would be top. Yeah.
Yeah, they're top.
That's what made me think, let me try and go and see. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they would be top because and like you said, officially they don't own that, but as Bitcoiners, whoever holds the keys owns that. So
yeah,
maybe it isn't actually BlackRock. Maybe it's because I think that they hold their Bitcoin technically with Coinbase. So indirectly, Coinbase actually own the Bitcoin, but BlackRock
if
probably have the
if Larry wants his Bitcoin,
yeah,
Brian lets him have it.
yeah,
Should we move on to the next story, which I found
yeah.
quite funny?
yeah.
So 7 years ago, Tony Robbins warned about Bitcoin. And what I enjoyed more, because I didn't even read the story, was just reading the comments, I'll be honest. I found them pretty hilarious. Unfortunately, there's no new ones in there, but the comments in this are just brilliant. And 7 years ago, what was the price of Bitcoin? Probably like 3 grand less. I don't know.
It was around that, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And there was because the reason why I found this post, so this is obviously 7 years old, right? So I'll just share it. It's a good old LinkedIn post. And here's Tony Robbins 7 years ago, why you like to ignore the experts are trying to warn you about Bitcoin. So he's actually going, you're probably going to ignore the experts and buy Bitcoin, and you're an idiot. And yeah, and I'd commented here, I'm doxing myself, I don't care. But it's sad to see that Tony is a no coiner. And weirdly, someone liked this like 2 or 3 days ago. And
Oh,
Oh, it was seven
really?
years ago.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody was reading this post from 7 years ago. It might just be a bot or something, but someone liked it. Can I see who did it? Oh, here we are. This poor
305 reposts.
this guy. But someone randomly liked it, and I'm like, why? I don't. I was like, I don't remember writing that comment. And then I saw it's 7 years ago. I'm like, oh wow. And here it is. I just thought I'd shove it on the agenda to go. I bet there's so many comments that are just lost to the ether, like all these things
Mm,
that you were commenting on, people being so certain that Bitcoin wasn't going to do anything. And these comments are getting older and older now, and we're just being proven more and more right. But they're hard to dig up. And obviously,
yeah.
Here we go. Someone who's apparently CEO, Bitcoin will become irrelevant once the EMP attacks occur. Cash money will again be the winner in survival. Just
yeah,
wrong on so many fronts, isn't he?
yeah. But
Yeah, I didn't spot yours because LinkedIn doesn't really have the best way of actually showing the feed.
oh no, it's horrendous. I can't find my own comment either from that
That's
thing.
just yeah, I'm trying to, it doesn't go that far back when
Yeah.
I'm searching through.
Because the comments 7 years ago, right? So
Yeah,
think it's showing the more recent ones or something, or the heavily like LinkedIn is just an absolute trash social network, isn't it? It's horrendous.
yeah,
It's clearly where it's like anybody in their engineering department that when you click that link, right, you're connected to me. So
yeah,
surely, if
yeah,
one of your connections has commented on the post you're looking at, put it towards the top
yeah.
because you're more likely to engage with that comment, aren't you? Because you're like, oh, look at what this person's saying. I know him. No, none of that. Let's bury
Did
it
you?
That's too
down the
easy.
bottom.
Oh, wait,
Here we go. I found it.
found
So
it. Yeah.
Munir Mahmood Ali liked it, but there's 2 likes. Did you like your own post, Mr. Orlin?
No, no, I even
There
showed it.
is,
So
yeah,
I
it's
have
very
some praise.
strange. Yeah, you've
And it
got
says,
two.
I'm gonna give myself a clap. No, I won't. But no, it wasn't me. It's weird, yeah. It's got to like I can only assume that the other person that liked it is like delete their LinkedIn account or something, so then they don't exist anymore. Well, they got permission now
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I think it was that guy though, that random guy who I have no clue who he is, randomly clicked like, and it made me
I
go,
think he's liking every comment. So I'm clicking on some, and yeah, he's just liked every comment. He's
oh right,
giving everyone a bit of love.
he's probably a bot. It's probably not a real account. But thank you to the bots that went back 7 years and click like on a comment because it helped me go back down memory lane and go, oh, right, here we are. I'm pretty sure as well, Toby Robbins is now pro Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure last time I heard him talking about it, he was um, being much more positive about Bitcoin. So, yeah, but it just shows a lot can change in 7 years. But let's hope there's some more bots going around liking random comments that I made 7 years ago. I'd like to see some of them because LinkedIn won't fucking let me see them. But have you ever tried just to go back and go, let's just see, for sake of argument, what comments did I make 10 years ago?
Probably none.
You, I think last time I tried to do it, you go into your post activity and you literally have to keep clicking next, going back and back and back. And you're just like, what is this?
I think 95% of my posts, which are very few, are about work. And then I've done about 2 comments on your posts when they've been Bitcoin related. That is it. So yeah, it's funny because some of the comments in there, it's just, I wonder if anyone actually looks at those and thinks, I can't believe I wrote that now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Full of
just
people agree.
an update on Tony Robbins, right? So in 2017, Robbins told CNBC that investing in Bitcoin was very iffy and like going to Vegas due to its volatility. Then a year later, in 2018, his team published an article titled "What You Need to Know About Bitcoin" on his website, which he also tweeted about, indicating a greater interest in educating people about about the topic. And then his current stance, while not investing in it, Robbins acknowledges Bitcoin's potential and believes it is here to stay and will become more legitimate over time, but he doesn't consider it a long-term investment.
You must have invested. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's like
Uh,
weft cock in his mouth.
A
Well, should we move on to Russia?
bit of Klaus.
let's.
Let's go on to the Russians.
No.
Is this a thing to click?
Oh, yeah, go on then. We'll do it.
Америка прямо сейчас пытается поменять правила на рынке золота и криптовалют. Вспомните, какой у них долг. 35 триллионов долларов. В общем-то, это два альтернативных валютному сегменту мировых рынка. Действия Вашингтона в этом направлении отчетливо демонстрируют одну из главных американских задач. Они очень хотят решить проблему снижения доверия к доллару. США, как это было и в 30-е, и в 70-е годы, будут решать свои финансовые проблемы за счет всего мира, загоняя всех куда? В криптовалютное облако. Со временем, когда часть госдолга США будет размещена в стейблкоинах, США обесценит этот долг. Еще раз простыми словами. У них сейчас валютный 35-триллионный долг, они его загоняют в крипту, в облако, обесценивают и начинают с нуля. Это для тех, кто очень любит заниматься криптой.
Oof.
So I always love the Russians on this show because they just say it how it is, and they're just going, oh yeah, this US stablecoin push. Why are the US trying to do this? Like they're just trying to shove 35 trillion of debt into crypto, devalue it, and reset the system, and just basically come out with a new stablecoin, which will be that isn't the fiat that you had before. It's totally different. I promise it'll be better this time. The Russians just, I love how they call it
Well,
how it
when they
is.
say stable coin, is that going to be like a CBDC?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay, so you forced onto it and they just hide the debt underneath it.
Yeah, they'll just suddenly go. That's what CBDC is essentially, isn't it? Yeah, you basically convert all the current fiat and you convert it into a token, and then you just distribute it and go, oh yeah, you know all that paper money you've got, all worthless now, done. It's in the app, and then all you
Yeah,
do is just steal loads of it, and
yeah, they can literally just print as much as they want if they how they depend on how they conceal it.
yeah, and they can control how you spend it. They can monitor it completely. Yeah, yeah, it's like fiat, but with surveillance turned up to 100 and control turned up to 100. It's yeah, they can measure your
Um,
carbon footprint, how
there's
much
a line in
you're
this
facing it.
which is quite telling. As in the 1930s and the 1970s, the US plans to solve its financial problems at the world's expense. So the 70s being the main one about the gold, but the 30s was when they took the gold. So between the 30s and the 70s, they're spending the world's gold, in case anyone doesn't know. This time by pushing everyone into the crypto cloud. I wonder if this is a confusion over CBDC. And I said, is this a confusion over CBDCs? Because I was unsure where this has come from. But basically, it's CBDCs, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
lockers on the system because they know it's failing, and the push towards socialism because they want the government safety net to make everyone feel safe. But we are going towards hyperinflation where we're going to end up with a black market,
yeah.
which will be lovely.
Yeah, it's coming.
I know. It is kind of scary because aren't we meant to be having our CBDC in the UK in like a month's time or something?
Yeah. It, there's
Ah, good
there's not
fucking
been
luck.
much noise around it, has
I
there?
know.
Like CBDCs.
I'd imagine it's got to be at least a year late, right? 2 years late,
Yeah,
3 years late. They can't even steal our money efficiently. So
yeah.
they're just so incompetent.
Not that we're complaining, but yeah, the whole noise and rhetoric around CBDCs has simply died a little bit of a death, which is, yeah, it's coming though. 2030 is on its way.
Yeah,
You will own nothing and be happy.
yeah. But I just love
Million
the
plus.
Russians. They just say it how it fucking is. You can understand why they just don't like hearing politicians from Russia talking in any like EU or American conversations. They just don't. They just go, they're disgusting barbarians. So why would I even, discuss this with them? And you just go, okay, like you really, for a politician who supposedly doesn't want war and doesn't want bullets, talking to these people is usually the best course of action. But when you hear them talk, you go, oh, I know why you don't want to hear them and why you don't want to give them a platform and put them anywhere near the masses because they just spitting facts all day long. Those guys just calling America out for exactly what they're doing, and yeah, too too much of that might actually risk waking someone up. Um, so let's just finish on a story that I found just before we started the pod, and it's just a throwaway one really, but it's one of the first predictions I've seen from probably a credible source. That is this high. So historically, we've always been talking about Bitcoin could be worth $1 million someday. That's always been the dream. But that's almost looking a bit boring now. Who cares about $1 million Bitcoin, right? That's only a 9x from where we are here. So why about one Bitcoin maybe worth $1 billion by 2038, Fidelity says. So and then
I think when it's getting to that realms, it's going to be a trillion because it's literally like it's going to collapse by that point, isn't it?
yes. Basically 20 years it'll be a billion and in 10 years it'll be $100 million.
I saw an interview by what's his name, Samson Mal,
Oh yeah.
today, who says it's going to be worth 1 million by the end of the year.
Mm.
And I was just like, and it came up with the reasons why. And I was just like, whilst I hope this happens, it's not happening.
Yeah, but yeah. Who knows? September and October have been very, very kind to Bitcoin in this stage of a 4-year cycle historically. But we seem to be pretty much plateauing still at the moment. Still waiting for that fucking
Yeah,
adrenaline rush of waking up going, holy fuck, Bitcoin's up 30% this morning. And then tomorrow down 20, like, and then next morning up 30 again. Fucking let's go.
that's
Yeah,
what I want to wake up to. Just literally like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
yeah.
Or it's happened.
Just it might be a nice little slow grind because weirdly like 100k didn't feel like the big blow off because it just I don't know, it was a bit of a slow grind up there, wasn't it? And it just got above it and then just hung
But
around
just
it.
imagine if 100, 110 is the top, and then we go into the bear season for Christmas, and we just get that. That would be such a disappointing. I know we've hit 100k, but it just feels nothing. It's
Yeah,
never felt anything, has it?
yeah, it will be. And who knows? I still hope the cycles are kind of here. I just feel like it's Bitcoin land, but there's part of me that does think that the companies that have now acquired such a large amount of Bitcoin, like we've seen, they have roughly. Well, I think all those companies had about 5%. You got BlackRock that have got about 4%. If you probably add them all up, you've roughly got 10, 15% of the supply locked up in companies that are very unlikely to emotionally sell their Bitcoin. It's going to be a much more strategical type decision. And then you've got all the orange pilled Bitcoiners who aren't fucking selling. Um, and you're almost like, well, like where's the bear market coming from? But also, if there's no buyers, that like there's not a rush of people that are suddenly being orange pilled, then yeah, we're just going to keep stagnating, aren't we? We're just keep going to go sideways because no one's fucking selling. And why would people sell? But the question I can't answer is why are more people not buying? Based on everything that's happening in the world right now, why do we not have a rush of people around the world converting their fiat into Bitcoin?
Correct.
What else do they need to fucking see? Maybe the launch of the CBDCs could be it. Maybe that could be their worst move because it really forces people to go, this crypto thing, which I hate putting Bitcoin in that bracket, but
Hmm.
you've ignored it your whole life. Well, now you're being forced to fucking out learn it because your government is telling you you're having a CBDC and you need to open up your phone. You're having a new form of currency. It's completely disassociated with the notes and the coins that you've got. It is something new. It has a different exchange rate, and this is the thing now. And you need a wallet. You got to secure it. Blah 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 blah. Maybe that, and then they'll start reading up about that, going, well, number one, I don't want to do that because I think a lot of people that don't get into Bitcoin, a big reason for it is that like they don't have time, do they? Like I said at the beginning, like they're busy just surviving, and then the
I think
government
it's
also,
that. And then also some of them think, oh, I've just missed the boat. So then, because again, the same guy who's just like, I just can't do it now. The mental hurdle to come back to get over it, now it's at 80k as opposed to 13 is just too hard for them. And he's just like, no, I just won't do it now. But I said at the time, when it was lower than this, I said, just accept it, just swallow it, and then just move on. But they can't.
yeah, and it feels so good when you just go, if you can't beat them, join them, just join them,
Yeah.
and suddenly it's so much, you've been wrong, but you can stop being wrong at any point and start being right.
You can
But
stop being wrong at any point.
But yeah, maybe the CBDCs could be almost a blessing in disguise, because there'd be a load of people that clearly just fucking all the triple vaxxed, fucking Ukraine supporting black lesbians are clearly gonna bundle straight into CBDCs, they're greener, they measure my carbon footprint. This is amazing. You're like, okay, right. Yeah, wait until it tells you can't take 3 kids on holiday because you're only allowed to take two because your carbon footprint's too high. We'll wait for that one.
Yeah.
Um, but then it's just where I don't know, it's just where's everyone else? But maybe there's a group of people in there that go, right, now that I've been forced to learn this thing, I'll learn a bit about crypto. They randomly start diving down Bitcoin, and then they start realizing, holy shit, there's a lot of Bitcoiners that are talking out about these CBDCs. Maybe they're right. Now that I'm here, maybe I put some money in. Maybe I don't want to put it all into this government wallet. Who knows? It's going to be so confusing, isn't it? Like, let's just say they roll this out. How's it going to look? Because are they going to just suddenly just put it into all the major banks and suddenly my balance is just displayed in a CBDC instead of pounds? Do I need to download a new wallet? Is it a different account? Do I need to manually convert it myself? Are they going to do it for me? Is it all banks? Is it all the fintechs? There's just so many elements here that you just go,
Correct.
no, this is a massive clusterfuck waiting to happen, you know.
But
Yeah.
when it doesn't happen, it will just hyperinflate the money even more because they will have had to have spent money to have got to there and then have to spend more money to invest in actually fixing it.
But I feel we're at a stage where if they introduce some of this, people will just think of a stage where it is like it could fight in the UK. But we don't want this shitty money because we know what it is. And I feel it could just really kick off. So I think they're possibly holding it back. So the world isn't settled, is it? It hasn't settled down after all the lockdowns.
I know, well, they seem to just be plowing ahead though, don't they? Who knows?
Have you seen the new Banksy exhibit
Hmm.
on a listed building, and they're trying to arrest him now because he painted what was it, a protester getting beaten by a judge.
No, I
It's
didn't see
genius,
that.
yeah. It was I got to share it. Yeah, it was a great Banksy. And obviously there's a picture of a judge walking past. It's on a court building and there's a
And
court.
after they say that they're so valuable and like the UK absolutely love them, this is the first one which is being shielded. It's being forensically examined and everything.
Yeah. And he's always been attacking the system. It's not
Yeah.
he's always been a man of the people. But apparently he is a bit of a lefty liberal kind of guy. But still his points are always authority is just stamping on the small man, isn't it? And I don't see why like bringing the judge in, stamping on using his gavel to beat a protester. You go, well, yeah, is that too much? Is it like the fact that he's openly? It's basically there's a free speech portrait, isn't it? Really, like the protesters just
Yeah.
saying a thing, and there's a judge going, "You can't say that thing," and I'm gonna put you in prison for saying that thing. You go, all right, free speech is dead. You're not allowed to protest in the UK anymore. If the government decide that that topic is out of off limits. But anyway, should we get out of here? Bitcoin at $1 billion. It's the beautiful thing is like as frustrating as it is that we're not there now. The thing is we're still right, and the world's still freaking going down the toilet. Nothing's. It's sad. Like I'd rather things start turning around and looking good. Where you could actually go, you know what, this Bitcoin thing, it's still going to be really sound money, but it's not going to be as necessary as maybe I originally thought because the governments are going to be all right in 20, 30, 40, 50 years time. I can actually see them still existing. But there's no world that I see in 50 years time do the government in its current form still maintain the same monetary assets as they do. It's like, well, no, there's no way. It's literally impossible, right? The rate of inflation is just gone exponential now. They cannot fund their own activity without causing hyperinflation. It's impossible. So yeah, we know we're right. We just got to. It's just a waiting game, isn't it? So me and my brother always used to say, it's like we're sat there with these lottery tickets. We've seen the future, and our numbers come out, but the balls that come down the machine just take forever. At the moment, like 3 or 4 numbers have come out, and you know the next 2 are the ones you've got on your sheet, but you've got to just sit there and wait. And the machine takes fucking years to spit these balls out.
It's just continuing to roll and rumble.
You're like, I know I'm right. I fucking know this ticket's a winner, but get that number out. Get the next number out.
Yeah.
and I'll decide whether I cash in at 5 numbers or 6 or whatever, and like change your life or whatever. But yeah, because obviously that's what you want first. You want to change your personal life, and then after that, you can start thinking like bigger picture. And 'cause you got to get out of the rat race first. Charity starts at home and all that.
Absolutely. It's funny as well when talking about obviously orange pilling people and getting into it and why people aren't rushing to it. And I have a story whereby I got a little bit of a payout in terms of money from commission and stuff. And I'm finding it difficult to buy in at this price, even though I know. Because I've been obviously uh, doing dumps at a much lower price. And I'm like, just do it. But the other half of me is just like, it's too high. It's too high.
I mean, you know what? The advice I'd always give to someone that's thinking about that: break it down, put it into 10 payments, spread it over the next couple of months, and just do it.
Yeah. It's obviously it's not going anywhere else, but it's just the fact that it's like, oh gosh,
Because the thing is, like, just think, right? Even if Bitcoin goes up 10% between now and next year, that's doubled anything the bank will give you.
yeah.
10% is people bite your hand off for 10%. And we're not talking 10%, we're talking hundreds of percents.
Yeah.
It's just a different world. And yeah, it's such as
And 10% over the
Nowhere else.
year as well.
And unless you've got the next AI startup that fucking some little, the next Elon Musk, like, you can't outperform this asset. You just can't, not reliably. It's just,
Yeah.
if you have cash sat there, it just makes sense. Even whilst you're trying to figure out what to do properly, put it into Bitcoin. And
Yeah.
it'll probably in the next month or something, or next, like, even next week, it'll go up 5%. And you're like, well, there you go. There's this
Yeah.
made you a chunk of cash just there. And yeah, that would have taken a year in the best bank account you could have found to get that. And it
Correct.
do it
The
fun in a week.
the whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And inflation, as we know, had been double that. So you didn't actually make any money. You just lost. Was get it in Bitcoin, dude. But yeah, if it's like we always say, like when if the amount's too big or it feels too risky, it means then it is. So break it down. If you're going to be a bit emotional about it, if Bitcoin dumps 20% tomorrow, you go, right, put in an amount of money where it dumping 20% tomorrow doesn't upset you. And then there's the number, and it probably is 10% of what you're
Yeah.
doing. You go, okay, well, 10% of it in, yeah, if it goes down, I know it's coming back. You're like, oh, there you go, there's the number then. Put that in now, leave it a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however much you want to wait, and then put another 10% in. Never 10, never 10, never 10, never 10, 10 payments. And then you'll probably be buying the last payment at 200K. And you're like, I'm a fucking idiot.
I know. I hate it. No, I have to stick to what I've been doing all the way through and just dump and set and forget. It's the one. Right, I will take us out because that was Pod 180 brought to you by Mr. All In, aka the $1 Trillion Man, Dr. Evil 10%, aka the People's Champ, myself, Sir Neverlook, aka the Excellence of Execution, and no surprise, this is no show, nowhere to be seen. Peace out, boys.